Marksman here for Mustang Weekly Update number 1 on this Friday. So it's so crazy just to be saying that, Mustang Weekly Update, but here we are. So, yes, as many of you saw, I'm sure, I took delivery of the 2015 Mustang EcoBoost on Tuesday night, and it's just been amazing so far. I have 423 miles on it so far, and it's amazing. It's so amazing. So, excuse my freak out. This is so exciting to be doing a Mustang Weekly Update. It's just, thank you guys again so much. I have to keep saying thank you, because without you guys, this wouldn't have been possible, and so thank you again. So, what's new with the Mustang? Well, the Mustang's new. That's what's new. That everything about it's new. So it's just, it's amazing. I mean, I love it. So, first thing, I'll answer some questions that people have had. So first is, where's the Mini? What did you do with the Mini? I traded the Mini in as I was buying this car. I traded it in for the Mustang, and that's why you can see in the delivery video as I'm driving out of the showroom there, you can see the Mini without the WX fan plate on it parked there on the side. So Mini was traded in, and it is no more. So on to better things for sure. So, another question that some people have had, and that's, how am I able to buy a new car, because I bought the Mini because I was in a rough financial situation, and, how am I able to now step into a $30,000 sports car again? And the basic answer to that is I had a really rough 6-month period where the finances were really in rough shape. Since then, they've improved drastically. It's not enough that, I could have warranted the Mustang purchase on my own, which is why I did the Fund Anything campaign to, help to bridge the gap, because I still, have to be financially responsible. And so even though my money situation is better now, I can only spend so much reasonably, because there's other things I obviously need to save for and stuff like that. So, so that's kind of why I, was able to afford this car, basically. And so things have improved. And things will hopefully continue to improve and continue to get better here in the future, but things have improved a lot. So that is how I'm able to get back into this. I wouldn't have done this if I was in the same crappy situation I was in 6 months ago. And so that whole storm has passed, and on to better things. Another question that people have is, how was I able to afford a premium one? Because we just made the goal for the base one. And basically, I was able to get the premium because another question people have is, what kind of deal did you get? I can't talk about the deal that I got. The dealership has requested I don't say anything in regards to the specifics of that. But I'll just say that everything worked out so that I was able to get the premium. There was many different factors that played into me being able to get it, but I was able to get it. So that's about all I can say about that. And I'm just so glad, because that's what I was going for. So another question people have is, how was the drive back? So, what have the first 400 miles been like so far? And so it's been really great. The drive back was so nice. This car is so refined. It's like I think it's honestly like the best car I've ever driven a long distance. Like, it's so comfortable. It's so refined. It's so quiet in here with a nice 401A stereo. It's super nice, and so it was really great. And that's another question a lot of people had. I'll go over it again. I mentioned it in the delivery video, but this is the 401A package. So it's the premium package, which has the leather and the touchscreen and all that kind of stuff. And then the 401A adds the blind spot monitoring, and it has the memory seat and the nicer 12-speaker sound system, which I did not need, but 401A package is what was available, and it worked out, like I said. So it just this is what it is. But yeah, it's so nice. So I mean, the first 400 miles here, I mean, it's so smooth, so refined. I'll obviously be doing an in-depth detailed tour of the car, and I'll also be doing my normal review like I always do once it's broken in. I want to what I'm going to do for the review of this car is I'm going to have the review be the first time that I go full throttle red line. So as soon as the car is broken in, I want to try and film my review video right then, and make it so that you guys will literally get to experience my first red line run, full throttle run in the Mustang. I think that'll be really cool to do. So that's what I'm going to be doing for that. But so as far as the first 400 miles, again, getting back, sorry, I'm all over the place with tangents. So, you know, I've configured you can have the My Ford Touch, you know, and the color, My Color thing, so the gauges can be different colors, and the ambient lighting can be different colors, and all that kind of stuff. You have all these gauges, this digital readout in the middle. One of the things I really love about these gauges is that, you know, you have these digital gauges you can do in the middle, and so, you know, in the performance package version, you get the boost gauge over on, you know, where the vents are, and I think it's way better having this digital one that's extremely accurate, it's very cool looking, and it's right in between the two main gauges. To me, that is the best place for a boost gauge, and that's where Ford put it as an option on all the, you know, Mustangs. Base, Premium, they all have that little color screen in the middle and have that boost gauge there. So I love that. That is so cool to, you know, always be able to see my boost right there. You don't have to buy a boost gauge. It's just boom, built into the car. Ford is really cool with all the different features. Like I said, I'll walk through all the features of an in-depth tour of this car that I'll be doing hopefully this weekend. Yeah, it's just it's still just, it's crazy. So I mean, I'll give more of my thoughts and impressions then. But yeah, I just wanted to hit on those few things. Another thing someone asked is, how's the headroom in here? I have my seat up a little bit higher because this car is large. That's another thing I'm, you know, just learning to drive it, being so big, especially coming out of a Mini Cooper and going into this. It's a big change. But you know, I've driven larger cars before. I'm used to it, you know, for the most part. And it takes, you know, after a little while, it kind of, the car shrinks around you and it isn't so intimidating. But I have my seat up a little bit higher so I can see over this hood better. And with my seat in the position it's in, I have maybe 3 or 4 inches of headroom here. You know, I mean, you can put the seat down more, but I would say that headroom in the Mustang isn't its strong suit. And those of you that are taller, I would definitely recommend sitting in one first before you buy one or order one, just to make sure that you do fit comfortably. But the seats are very, you know, versatile in the way that they change positions and stuff, so that you can probably find a you know, sitting position that works for you. So yeah, that's basically everything. And you know, please request any other videos. I'm making a long list of all the videos you guys have requested, and I'll be making them one by one, and you know, answering all of your questions. So any other questions you have for next week's weekly update, or anything I can answer in the comments below, or anything like that, definitely let me know, because like I said, I want to you know, show you guys as much about this car and answer any questions you may have for your you know, future purchase or whatever it is that you're considering. A lot of people are asking me to compare this to the BRZ and the WRX and stuff like that. I'll do that whenever I do my driving review. I'll talk more about that because I don't want to make this video super long, so we'll save that for the future. But you know, I obviously love it, and yeah, so with that, I'll send it back to me at the news desk for this week's news. Right, for this week's news. The first thing is Jaguar has officially announced that they're going to be doing an all-wheel drive F-Type coupe. And it's going to go for the R, it's going to be all of them. They said that the current F-Type range is going to grow from 6 models to 14, which means even the convertible ones are going to get all-wheel drive, which is awesome to hear. And they're saying, they even released numbers already, that the all-wheel drive version of the F-Type R is going to do 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds, which is actually slower than the rear-wheel drive version. I think that probably with some proper testing, I feel like it should be faster than the rear-wheel drive version, but still awesome to hear those numbers. And now hopefully the next thing is Jag will offer a manual transmission in the F-Type, then we'll really be set. Manual, all-wheel drive F-Type is like perfection. So that's so awesome to hear from Jag, though. In some other great sports car news, the NHTSA has said that they're granting Aston Martin an exemption temporarily for the new safety standards. So Aston Martin can continue to sell their cars in the United States even though they don't comply with the proper new modern side impact crash ratings, as far as, you know, they need to have side airbags and all that kind of stuff, and these Astons still don't. And so they're going to let them go for a few more years, I think. Not totally sure on how long the exemption is going to last, but at least the people that have cars on order will still be able to receive them here in the States. And you know, hopefully just Aston Martin's new model can't come soon enough, and hopefully that'll have all the new safety features that are required, and then continue their US sales unencumbered. Right, and so there's a few new SUVs announced ahead of the LA Auto Show, which is next month. The first is the new Porsche Cayenne GTS, which no longer comes with a manual transmission option, but it's obviously very aggressive looking, and it's the same basic formula as the previous Cayennes. This is just a refreshment of, you know, the previous generation GTS. Nothing earth-shattering different, but does look very nice. Another wannabe SUV that's also been officially released is they're doing a RS version of the Audi Q3. We probably won't get it in the States here, but they are making it. It's officially called the Audi RS Q3, and it hits 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds, so it's pretty quick. Looks cool, and it's basically, it looks like how I would expect an RS3 to look, except it's jacked up and has the hatchback and all that good stuff. But it looks pretty cool, though. I gotta hand it to them for a little crossover. It looks pretty cool. In other crossover news, Volvo has revealed their new V60 Cross Country, which is going to be debuting officially at the LA Auto Show, and looks very pretty according to the new Volvo design language here. It looks really just clean and fresh, and I really like the way it looks. And for some really exciting news, a big teaser of a huge release at the LA Auto Show next month is going to be that I think Ford is going to be revealing the new Mustang GT350, because they revealed this performance heritage video, which is promoting, the Mustang over the years, all this kind of stuff, and then it just ends with this little teaser, and there's a few glimpses of, some parts of the car, and then it has 11, 17, 14, and so that is when it's going to officially be revealed here, so we don't have too much longer to wait, just another week and a half, and we'll be able to see the new GT350 Mustang, which I'm sure will be insane. The performance is going to be insane, I'm sure, and yeah, just really excited for that. So that's awesome. Other awesome Mustang news, obviously I'm a little bit biased now being a Mustang owner, but at SEMA, the 2015 Ford Mustang was officially announced as the hottest car of SEMA for this year. Obviously it's a brand new car, and everyone's excited about the new Mustang, and so there's all kinds of crazy SEMA builds of Mustangs, and so I'll move on to this next chunk of the weekly news, which is going to be all the SEMA cars. There's tons of them, they're crazy. I normally don't cover custom cars, but I figured I'd do a quick run through of some of the crazy stuff that stood out to me at SEMA as being really awesome. I'm sure David Patterson is in LA, or in Las Vegas, for SEMA, and so he's probably going to be posting up some great videos. I know my buddy TJ Hunt is also going to probably be vlogging from SEMA, so you can go to their channels to check out some videos of SEMA, but I'm going to give a quick rundown of some of the highlights of SEMA so far. So some of the new 2015 Mustang, customized models that came out. Petty's Garage did one in Grabber Blue that looked pretty cool. I'm sure that dude in blues loves that one, and so that looks pretty cool. There's also a King Cobra model that has over 600 horsepower and modified, and that looks pretty cool. Also, RTR has done a drift one that Von Gittin Jr. I think is going to be drifting around in. That looks pretty sweet, and has the same kind of livery as his other cars, but just looks all kinds of awesome. Interestingly enough, Ken Block decided to buck the trend, and he did a custom Mustang, but his was a 1965 Mustang, which is, those are the awesomest ones, I think, the 60s ones, and has this, huge blower sticking out of the hood, and it looks all kinds of awesome, and it's called the 1965 Ford Mustang Hoonicorn RTR, and it's pretty awesome, and it's supposedly the star of the new Gymkhana film, which will hopefully be coming out soon here. So very awesome to see that. And all this, brand new Mustang news, Chevy is in a different part of their life cycle where they're phasing out their current generation of the Camaro in preparation for the new one next year. And so at SEMA, they officially revealed the 2015 Chevy Camaro Commemorative Edition. And it's their swan song. Looks, has some special wheels and striping, and it's a nice send-off to the current generation Camaro, which is another fantastic car. Right, so now for the crazy cars at SEMA. The Ken Block car is pretty crazy and stuff, but for manufacturers, crazy stuff. So Hyundai, I mentioned last week, I think, they decided to bring this crazy boosted Hyundai Sonata, which has a huge front intercooler right in the grill there. They also did a 1,000 horsepower Genesis Coupe, which is pretty interesting. And then Kia, they also took their K900, which is their flagship luxury sedan, put a twin turbo setup on it. That has 650 horsepower. Again, I didn't think anyone was expecting a twin turbo K900. But there you have it. SEMA they always just do some crazy stuff no one expects. But Kia didn't stop with the K900 twin turbo that no one asked for. They also decided to do some food truck versions of the Kia Soul. So there's a retro looking one that is an ice cream truck. It actually looks pretty cool, though. It's kind of a funny idea. They also did a beer truck one, which is pretty interesting as well. Scion decided to go crazy as well. So while we're in the funky, weird truck wagon thing. They did a Scion XB that looks like it's straight out of the A-Team or something from the 70s. It's got the crazy stripes going down the side, and as crazy as it sounds, they should totally build it just for kicks. They should just put it into production. That would be awesome. I think it looks really cool. Another car they should definitely build, they did a Scion FRS Targa, and it has a turbo as well, and it has freaking louvers on the back window. It's just all kinds of cool. It's in a beautiful shade of blue as well, and Targa FRS just sounds amazing. That's like, okay, if you don't want to do a convertible, then just do this Targa. You've already done it. It's very easy. Just put it into production. Just go for it. Do it. One car, though, that we will never see in production is Toyota decided to do a Camry that they turned into a Dragster. And this car has 850 horsepower, and you would never notice. It's like total sleeper. They at SEMA in the display, they actually had a pole lifting the whole body up so you can see the underbody. It's got this twin turbo V8 in it. It's insane. It has nitrous. 850 horsepower. They're saying it'll run the quarter mile in less than 10 seconds. 9.8 second quarter mile time, which is seriously quick, and it looks like a stock Toyota Camry. Man, they should have just never told anyone and just taken this to all the drag strips and just bet people all night and made a killing. That would have been hilarious. But, yes, that's really funny. And, yeah, just really some wacky stuff at SEMA this year. And the last bit of SEMA news I'm going to mention is Mazda, they brought out a 2016 Miata Global MX-5 Cup Racer. And, you know, it's what you would expect a little race car version of the new Miata to look like. Looks pretty cool, and it's not crazy, actually, compared to all the other wild stuff that came out at SEMA. But yeah, so that's it for all the news this week, guys. So I'll send it back to me in the car. Alright, so I'll leave you guys with a nice little acceleration. Still on the braking period, so I'll take it easy, but little acceleration. Go, second gear pull. It's got so much torque that even though, yes, I can't go full throttle and I can't take it to red line yet, it just pulls, and it has so much power in the meat of the power band right there in the low end that you don't have to wring this out like the VRZ, and it just has so much power down low. It's really great. And another thing that's inhibiting this car's performance that I'll talk about before I go here is that it's on 87 fuel. So that's what the dealership put in. You lose, someone actually dynoed 87 fuel versus 93 for an EcoBoost. You lose something like, I don't know, 50 wheel horsepower. I don't know, it's some crazy number, but it basically, this car is going to be way faster once I get 93 in it. So I'm trying to burn through this dealership tank of gas as quickly as possible so I can get some proper 93 in here and really see what it has. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously still very quick and still so ballsy, even with the 87. So yeah, do another little acceleration here because why not? It's so nice to have rear-wheel drive again, get that back end out a little bit, and oh man, having a blast. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care.